Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever or whenever you are. It's been fun to watch the weather forecast here in the pre-webinar chat. Thanks everyone for saying hi. Welcome to the MyHeritage webinar series. Today we have Tel Erlichman with us from MyHeritage headquarters in Tel Aviv, Israel, to teach us about the latest photo feature from MyHeritage. I'm really looking forward to this. I hope you are too. Thanks to Tal, thanks to the more than 2,000 of you from these 30 countries for registering. Sure appreciate you sharing part of your day with us. I'm pleased to introduce today's speaker. Tal Erlichman is a Director of Product Management at MyHeritage and is responsible for MyHeritage's core genealogy service, including the family tree, matching technologies, and the historical records search engine. He leads a talented team of developers, QA engineers, product and project managers that work tirelessly to create the best family history research experience. From creating the best search tools through publishing new historical record collections from all around the world, to building innovative features that create meaningful discoveries for our users on a daily basis. Tal is passionate about his family and family history in particular. He comes from a computer science background, specializing in mobile security, and was part of the Let Mobile team acquired by Ivanti in 2012. Please put together your virtual hands and let's give Tal Erlichman a nice warm webinar welcome. Tal, how are you, and welcome to the show.
I'm good. Hi, Jeff. Hi, everyone. Great to be here again.
It's good to have you back. We always appreciate what we learn from you. And today about photos, I've got an idea of what you're going to share, and really looking forward to it. And I'll let you know when I'll. Yeah, so the full screen is looking good for us. Tal, do you have everything you need now?
Yes, excellent. Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, it's all yours.
Thank you. So again, great to be here. It's always fun to be invited by Jeff. So I'm talking to you live from Tel Aviv, Israel. Today we will talk about two features mostly. One of them is relatively new and was released a few months ago by MyHeritage. The other one will save you a lot of time when you do family history research, and I'm not sure you're familiar with this one. So we'll just kick it off and we'll talk about both of them. We start with a question, and I will answer this question. When was the world's oldest photograph taken? The oldest surviving camera photograph, known as View from the Window at Le Gras, was taken by the French inventor Nicephore Niepce, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, in 1826. It was taken in Saint-Loup-de-Varennes, which is in Burgundy, France. And it shows parts of buildings and surrounding countryside of his estate in Le Gras, as seen from a high window. I'm not sure which of you would have guessed this photo is from 1826, but I guess all of you guessed that it's very old, probably 19th century. Now, people always like a good mystery, especially with photos. Here's, you can see on the screen, a fun example of a thread on social media that was posted initially by the National Library of Ireland. They posted 9 years ago a photo from the Poole collection and mentioned it was taken somewhere around 1890. The Poole Studio Photography collection consists of privately commissioned portraits of people in the southeast of Ireland. It includes studio portraits of locals, staff portraits from business firms and large houses, school classes, trade unions, clubs, and societies. In addition to photographs documenting Waterford City and county, the Poole firm also provided photographic coverage for newspapers of different events. So they posted this photo online, And people started chatting and started discussing and researching who is in this photo and when it was taken. It became so popular and fun that people came back to this post even 7, 5, 8 years later with new information to try and solve the mystery behind this photo, which people are shown in this photo, when it was taken, where. And eventually, after some research by one of the people here that commented on this post, they managed to find that this photo was taken most likely in 1897. Now, this will take us to a fun quiz around the same topic. I will ask you a question, and I hope that some of you will be happy to answer and post your answers on the chat. Will be great if Jeff can help me here and read out some of the nice answers that you have. So the question is, in what year was this photo taken?
Okay, Tal, we've got lots of responses coming in. We've got the 1960s, we've got 1973, 1980, 1945, 1972.
Really, 1945? That's an interesting guess.
Okay. And they just keep on coming, but most of them are the 1960s or 70s.
Okay, cool. So these are good guesses. You guys are awesome, but you can do better, I think. We'll get back to the answer later. I will not show it right now. I will just hint that this is my parents' wedding and their parents beside them. It was taken in Tel Aviv, in Israel. Let's try another one. What do you say about this photo? When was it taken?
Okay, the one with looks like the wedding cake. Your thoughts?
Yes, another wedding.
Okay, so these are coming in a little bit older, further back in time. We've got 1933, 1947, 1949, 1950. We have an 1850s submission here. Melissa says 1958. Cheryl says 1955. We've got some 1940s.
Nice, good answers. I think you guys are closer with this one.
Okay.
We'll talk about that soon. It's all logged in the chat history, so we'll get back to it shortly.
Okay.
So you guessed correctly. The topic of this session today, of this webinar, is photodater. That's the main dish. We will later talk about another feature. The photodater can estimate when your old photos were taken using AI technology. It basically uses machine learning technology that was developed by MyHeritage and trained on tens of thousands of curated and definitively dated photos to understand nuances in the photo, such as color, clothing, hairstyle, facial hair, furniture, accessories, and other periodical features that characterize a particular decade. Here, in this slide, you can see the evolution of photography throughout different time periods, from ambrotype and salt print to Kodachrome and Polaroid. You can witness the great variance in photo nuances throughout the different periods in history and identify what characterizes each time period. You can look at the framing, the color, the photo quality, through even the way people are seated in the photo, and even look at the accessories and what people were wearing, or even the expression on their faces. All are characteristic to a specific time period, and the AI can learn all of these nuances and many others that I cannot even list or describe. The photo data algorithm is able to provide a date estimate for undated photos taken between 1860 and 1990, for which it has a good enough confidence that it can return results of high accuracy. In addition to the year estimation, the result will also include a decade prediction histogram, a confidence level, and an average error range. So here in this example, you can see the year the photo was taken according to the AI is 1963, with an 85% confidence level that this year is correct within an average error range of plus minus 5 years. So estimates are calculated and shown on your family site only for photos that do not already have a date in the metadata, meaning that if you already entered a date for a specific photo, we will not try to estimate it using AI. It's done only for photos that are undated. To get a date estimate, the photo also needs to be an actual photograph of people rather than landscape, documents, or gravestones. We need to see, the AI needs to see, the AI was trained on real photos of people and not of other things. I will show soon a few things that it cannot identify. So if we'll get back to this one, I heard some very nice guesses before, ranging somewhere between, I think, 1950s to the 1980s. If I understood correctly from Jeff, most of you thought it's something around the 60s or maybe even 70s. The AI or the photo dater guessed that the date that this photo was taken is 1982. The actual year this photo was taken is 1982 indeed. This is the wedding of my parents, which sort of reveals my age probably. But yes, the AI was very good here and was able to identify the exact year in which this photo was taken. Regarding the other photo, I heard some very good guesses earlier. Also, the photo dater had a very nice guess. It guessed that it was taken in 1955. And the photo was indeed taken in 1956. Only 1 year difference between what the AI thought and the actual year. This is a photo of my paternal grandparents. It was taken in Haifa, Israel, on their wedding day. Let's look at another example. So the photo dater said 1935, and the actual year is 1932. Here it's a 3-year difference, but you can see it's a very hard photo to guess. And the AI did quite a good job here. Let's give this one a try. Jeff, do you want to read a few guesses? Guys, feel free to post a few guesses on the chat.
Okay, the picture with the 4 individuals in it. Coming in, we have 1899, 1895, 91, 1875, the 1880s, 1910, 1887, 1894.
Good, very good guesses. You guys are improving, I think.
Okay, good.
So this photo was taken in 1892. Sorry, photo dater said it was taken in 1892. This time he was a bit further away. The actual year is 1897, but it gives you a clue that even for earlier photos, it gives you quite a good estimate of when it was taken. Now let's talk about photos that will not work well with photo dater. So you can see here a few examples on the screen. For these types of photos, you will not get an estimate. The photo dater will not give you an estimate for landscape, buildings, documents, crests, gravestones, and paintings. Those are not the type of photos on which we trained the model. We focused on people. We focused on family photos. So just so you won't get disappointed when you upload such photos and try. So how did we actually do this magic of photo data, and how did we manage to create an AI model that can estimate when photos were taken? So in order to teach an AI model how to estimate dates for photos, you need to show it a lot of examples of dated photos, obviously. But if you show it mostly photos from a certain decade and very few photos from other decades, it's likely that results will not be so good, because it basically learned on very specific cases and missed a lot of other cases for which users may have their photos. So we try to have a good distribution of photos in this, what we call the training set, the set of curated photos that we gave the AI from different time periods. You can see here on the screen from the early 1860s up until the 1990s. Newer photos we didn't try, not because it wouldn't work, mostly because it has less of historical significance in the context of family history research. The photos are much newer, digital cameras, and in most cases it doesn't provide much value to users. The bigger value here is for older photos. The results will be more accurate for photos coming from places that had better representation in our training data. So mostly I would say that the training data comes from the US, North America, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and other places, but maybe it's not representative enough of certain other places in the world. And in the future, we will add additional training data to improve it also for photos that are coming from other places. So why using the photo data? The photo data can provide valuable clues that can assist you in your family history research. By figuring out when a mystery photo was taken, it becomes easier to identify who appears in it and deduce what event it was taken at, such as a wedding or other event. It is also an effective means to infer a person's date of birth, assuming you can estimate his or her age from the appearance in the photo. Nevertheless, I would say it's important to remember that date estimates are just estimates. While photo data may narrow down the year with very high accuracy, it can be off by several years, as you already saw. This is why if you choose to save the date estimate to the photo metadata, it will appear as an estimated date as supported by the JEDCOM format rather than an exact one. So eventually, like when you save a date estimate given by the photo data, or even a date estimate that you added to a photo, and you want to export your tree and take it elsewhere, we will save this into the JEDCOM file, and it will be shown as an estimated date, so that you won't think that it's an exact date. So users should eventually use the AI carefully and as a supportive tool. So that's important to say. Now I will show a bit how to use this feature, how to access it. First of all, I will say that this feature is accessible both from the MyHeritage website, but also from the mobile apps. Whether you use Android or iPhone, you can try it also from the mobile app. So to use photo data, simply click on the desired photos thumbnail in your MyHeritage photo section. To get to the photo section, you just log into your MyHeritage account, and then in the top nav bar, you have this button that says photos. You click on it, and then this screen will show, showing you all of your photos. If you don't have photos on MyHeritage, you can simply upload photos here to try this feature. So that's easy. And eventually, we will try to give a date estimate for every photo that you upload. But as I said, we will not provide estimates for photos that do not include the people, or photos that are that are from the recent, I would say 20 or 25 years, you will not get an estimate either. So anyway, when you're on the screen, you click any of the photos and you will get to this page. If the photo is undated, photo data will work automatically in the background, as I said, and generate a date estimate. And if the confidence is good enough, you will get the estimate. The estimate will show in the top section of the page next to the date. You will have the option to edit manually or to review the estimate. The estimate will show like this with the dotted line surrounding it. In this case, the estimate is 1953. If you click the estimate, it will open a pop-up window where you can save the estimate or reject it. To learn more about the estimate, you can click More Details. When you click More Details, it will open a histogram that explains more about the date estimate for the photo and shows the confidence level of the estimate, as well as an average error range. The histogram is helping intuitively understanding the likely period in which the photo was taken. So in this example, we can see that the estimate is 1933. It has a confidence level of 79%, which is high, but not the highest confidence level. And this confidence level is that this year is correct within a range of plus minus 6 years. The higher the confidence level is, the lower the average error will be. So, for example, if you get a 90% confidence level, you'll see an average error of around plus minus 3 years. But the higher you go with the confidence level, the higher also the chances that we've managed to exactly identify the year in which the photo was taken. If the date estimate seems credible, or you can validate it using other sources, you can click Save in the pop-up to save the estimated year to the photo's metadata. So I will go back here, and here you have a Save button and a Reject button. If you click Save, it will save it, as you can see here, with an estimated of 1935. As I said, if you'll export your family tree, then all of this information, all the estimates that were saved, will be exported into the JetCom file. Okay, let's try a few more. I hope eventually you'll become a pro after this session and can even beat the AI. Who wants to guess when was this photo taken? Jeff, can you read out a few guesses?
All right, they're coming in the 1980s mostly, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. We've got a 1966, we've got a 2002, 2010, 1978, and hundreds more.
Nice.
Are they close?
Okay, so that's me in the photo.
I was wondering if that was you.
When I was 2 years old. So the photo dater guessed that this photo was taken in 1988. This is me and my mother. And it was indeed taken in 1988. Now, don't think that it provides good results only for my photos. I didn't train it on my photos. We trained it on many, many, many photos from all over the world. But I guess it does a good job for my photos. How about this one?
Okay, everyone.
I want to hear some guesses. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about this one? We've got 1947, 1954, 45, 39, 43, 42, 59, 50, 45, 39. We've got one that says 1896.
I hear some good answers. So the photo dater also said 1945. I think I heard in 1945.
Yeah.
The actual year was 1946. So it's very, very close. And some of you did also a very good job.
Yep.
This is, by the way, my grandmother after World War II in Germany. Okay, we'll see a few more examples. This one, the photo dater said 1907. This is a nice family photo. The actual year in which it was taken is 1906. This is a photo that I got from Gilad, who's the CEO of MyHeritage. It's a personal family photo of his. The photo dater said 1922. The actual year is 1922. So they did an awesome job here. It's another example. Photo dater says 1935. The actual year is 1936. So to sum this up, I hope I built a bit of an appetite for you to upload a few photos and try it out on the MyHeritage website. One thing I didn't mention, this is a free feature, so everyone can try it, can use it as much as you want, and I hope it will help you with your family history research. So to sum it up, Photodater uses AI technology that is unique to MyHeritage. I don't think I've seen it anywhere else yet, at least, to estimate the date in which a photo was taken. You should always consider the estimated year within its average error range and consult the graph. And also, take it with a grain of salt. Eventually, it's AI, and you can never completely trust it, but it can definitely help you. As I said, Photodater is available on the website and also on the mobile apps if you prefer working with your mobile phone or tablet. So you can try it out. Now, let's switch to a different feature. At the end, of course, I'll be taking questions if there are any about Photodater. So you can already write them down. Regarding the next topic, it's called Photo Tagger. This feature exists on the website for maybe a year and a half or something like that. Photo Tagger is basically a very nice tool to tag multiple photos very quickly. It's a free feature, another free feature. You don't need to have a MyHeritage subscription to use it. It helps you tag hundreds of photos in minutes, and let's see what it is exactly and how it works. So Photo Tagger analyzes the photos you have uploaded to MyHeritage, and it groups together faces that the algorithm believes belong to the same individual. Then you can tag all the photos for an individual in one click, saving you the time and effort of reviewing and tagging each face in each photo individually. What you see here on the screen is the main Photo Tagger screen. We will get to it in a minute, but let's see first where to find it and how to activate this feature for your own family site. So to access the Photo Tagger, you can hover over the Photos menu at the top of the website. And when you hover it, the second item in the list is called Photo Tagger. So you click it, and then you will get to this page. Perhaps for your own website, it will show a different page if you already enabled it in the past or used it in the past, so it will take you directly to the Photo Tagger. But if you haven't done so yet, it will show you an introduction of the feature. So you can click the Start button to begin, this button right here. Before using Photo Tagger for the first time, you'll be asked to give your consent to enable Photo Tagger. The consent is for MyHeritage to use facial recognition technology in order to identify the people in your photos and group them together. Those facial recognition models are only used within your own family site and are not used outside of it. Like, we're not doing matching between my photos and other people's photos. That's not something that we do. After you gave consent, MyHeritage will start calculating photo tagging suggestions for all the photos in your family site. This will normally take a few minutes. Once the results are ready, we'll send you an email with a link to view all your tagging suggestions. So you need to be patient for a few minutes, and then you'll get all the tagging suggestions for your family site. So once they were calculated, the photo tagger will display the suggestions on its main page, as shown here. Photo tagger groups together faces that appear in your photos, which the algorithm believes belong to the same person. Each row here on this page is a group of tagging suggestions for a particular individual. There are two types of groups. You can see them right here at the top: identified people and unidentified people. You have the ability to filter them using these buttons. For deceased individuals, photo tagger will do its best to automatically identify them by name from your family tree, assuming they were tagged at least once before. However, if there are deceased individuals that photo tagger has not encountered before, they will be unidentified. Living individuals will remain unidentified, and you'll need to enter their names manually before you can tag them. You can use the filter buttons that I showed here in order to see only identified people or unidentified people. If we'll click on the second row of Diana Richards in this on this page, we will enter the review group screen that allows to review up to 25 tagging suggestions for Diana Richards. Typically, a group will consist of between 3 to 25 tagging suggestions. So this is the screen that you will get into. I hope you can see it well. It lists all the tagging suggestions we have found for Diana Richards. For each photo, the person's face will be shown enlarged on the left, and the full photo will be shown on the right, like this. To give you the full context, this display is very, very useful. So on the left side, you can identify the person, and on the right side, you get the context of where this face is taken from. We also added below each photo the place and date in which this photo was taken, in case you added this information, as well as the names of other people that were already tagged in the photo. This gives you additional context for the person that appears in the photo and is shown as a tagging suggestion. On this page, your task is to scroll down to review all the photos in the group and uncheck any photo that was misidentified. As you may know, face recognition sometimes makes mistakes, so be sure to go over all of the tagging suggestions. If you are using, for example, an iPhone, and you are used to a similar feature you have on iPhone, you will see that sometimes face recognition can mix up different faces, especially of young kids or young babies. So be careful of just approving it without reviewing all the photos. In the example that you see here, if any photo does not belong to Diana Richards, the user is asked to uncheck this photo. You have these checkboxes here. You can just uncheck it, and then this photo will not be tagged. It's very helpful to see the enlarged individuals' faces side by side with the full photos, because sometimes the face may be difficult to recognize, but given the full context and other people who appear in the same photo, you realize whose face you are actually looking at. Okay, when you're done reviewing all photos in the group and unchecking those that don't belong, you can click the Tag 5 Photos button here at the top. And all the photos that haven't been unchecked will automatically be tagged. If a group of photos doesn't match the individual that was automatically identified, or if the group is messy and shows photos for too many different people, it also happens from time to time, you can just click reject for this group, and the photo tagger behind the scenes will try to match those faces again to other people. Sometimes you want to dive into a photo to see it up close. To do so, you can just click on the thumbnail of the original photo on the right hand side, and you will be able to enter full screen mode. It will look like that. So it shows you a zoomed in mode of this photo with all the supportive information that we have. If you want to uncheck the photo, you can do it also from here. And you can also click the right and left arrows on the screen right here in order to navigate to other photos and just use the tool from this mode if you need the photo to be larger. Okay, so we looked previously at an unidentified group. Now let's look at how to review and tag an we looked at an identified group. We'll now look at an unidentified group, and we'll see how to tag it. Rather than display a person's name, each unidentified group will be labeled with "who is this," as you can see here. And to review such a group, you can just click the card or the review button, and you will get to the screen. The screen. On this screen, you first need to start typing the individual's name in the search bar and select the name from the list that appears. It will search all the people that appear in your tree. To tag an unidentified group, you will enter the name of the individual who appears in the photos, and you can only tag photos of people that are already in the tree. To tag someone who isn't in the tree yet, you'll first need to visit your family tree and add that individual to the tree. Once they're added, you can return to the photo tagger to continue tagging from here. And really, as you saw, on this page here, you get many tagging suggestions, and it basically takes a few seconds to review each group and tag all of them. While, as you know, without using a feature like this, going through each and every photo and tagging all the individuals in the photo can take a long time, and this feature will do it better and much faster for you. So we tagged many groups via the photo tagger, and now we want to view all photos of a specific person. To do so, you can go to all your photos via the navigation bar. Again, you click the photos top navigation menu item, and you will get to this screen. On this screen, you have this left panel in which you can search for the individual that you are interested in. Click it, and then only photos of that individual will appear here. I personally don't prefer this view. There's a different view called the list view for photos that provides more information about each photo, and it also has more filtering options. So to get to the list view, you can click on this button right here. It's a small icon of a list. You click it, and the view will switch to a list view. On the list view, you can see the title of each photo, the people that are tagged in the photo, when and where the photo was taken. Assuming you are an organized genealogist and have all this information for your photos, then you'll have here a lot to work with. You also have here different filters right here at the top. I hope you can see them, for filtering photos by people, by places, by a year range. When filtering, for example, by people, I have a slide for it. So when filtering by people, you can click the name of the person, and only photos of him will appear. You have also the option of seeing photos in which two people are tagged by using this setting right here for showing photos of people that appear together in the photo. You click apply, and then it filters all your photos with these two people, Brian William Smith in this case, and Morris Smith. So that's also something helpful. A few words about privacy of photo tagger. Privacy is very important to MyHeritage, and we strictly protect it. As with any personal data, MyHeritage will never share your information with third parties without your consent, of course. Tagging suggestions identified by name are provided only for individuals marked as deceased in your family tree. Before using this feature, all users are to be asked to give consent to MyHeritage so that photo tagger can create facial recognition models using your photos. And of course, you can withdraw your consent at any given time from your family site settings. Basically, withdrawing your consent will delete all the tagging suggestions that were previously calculated. They will not be stored anymore on the MyHeritage servers. And of course, at any time you can opt back in and use this feature again. That's pretty much it. And I'll be happy to take some questions.
Okay, Tal, we've got hundreds and hundreds of comments and questions in here, and this has been more than I thought we were going to get here today. Two awesome tools, and I don't know if the audience was like me. You were over on your other monitor practicing what Tal was just showing us, and so Tal, to answer some of the questions, I want to display my screen just for a bit and demo to them. So let me bring over this tab, and hopefully you can all see my screen now. So let's first talk about the photo dater. So how I reach this, and tell me if I'm doing it the right way or if there's a better way, but I've just gone under photos, and then I clicked on my photos, and then it brought me to this area where it shows me the photos that I've uploaded. And then, so as I scrolled down, so I started playing with this on my other monitor, and I found this photo of, here's me as a little guy, and my dad, and his dad, and his dad. So I've got 4 generations in there. And so for the photo data to work, I click on the picture, and it opens up right here. And then if I haven't opened it up previously, then it takes a few seconds, and then it adds the estimation right here. And that would put me at about 3 years old in this photo, which I think is accurate. But then I noticed, I think the name or the file name of my photo when I uploaded it, it had the 1978 as part of the file name. I'm guessing it did not look, well, does Photo Data look at that also to make the estimation?
No, it doesn't look at all at the photo title. So in this case, indeed, the photo editor managed to find the right year, but it's not using at all any of the metadata on the photo.
Okay.
The only thing that it uses is it looks at people that were tagged in the photo and looks at their birth and death years if they are known. And if the estimate that the AI gave is off, we will not display to the user. Like basically, if the AI said the photo was taken in 1978, but it couldn't possibly be because the people tagged in the photo only lived until 1965, then we'll see there's a discrepancy and we won't show an estimate. But other than that, we don't look at any of the metadata on the photo.
Okay, that was a lot of people had that question, so thanks so much for verifying that. So yeah, real impressive if it's not even looking up here. Now, you also showed what happens when we click on this button right here. So I'll click there. This shows me that confidence level, the average error, plus or minus. And then if I want to save this, see, I don't have anything in the date field yet. So I'm going to just do it and see what happens here. So I'm going to click save, and it puts estimated 1978. So that's cool. I actually know even a little bit better that this was July of 1978. So I'm just thinking out loud here, Tal. So it looks like there's an edit icon here. Could I then change this to July?
Yes,
And it looks
of
looks
course.
like I can. And if I hit save, estimated July 1978. If I want that
Yeah,
estimated to go away, then I can change to any of these things that are listed here.
exactly.
Love it. Okay, very nice job. Let me switch. Let me switch to. Well, it's hard. See, it's hard to switch to something else when once you start clicking on these photos. You just want to see what it does for all of them. I don't really care about my modern day ones. Scrolling down. Okay, so this is where we were. So let's just take this. So here's my grandpa, and I think this is one where it might not. So if
Yeah,
I just, oh, look at
one
this,
important thing
it's
to
done. Okay.
mention is that yeah, sometimes you need to wait a few seconds until it pops because the AI runs in the background
Okay.
and tries to calculate it. It doesn't always pop the second you open the screen.
Okay.
So wait a few seconds and then you'll get an estimate.
Okay. Love that. Now, several of the people here they asked, does photo data work good or not good, depending on if you've enhanced or colorized the photos? Does it? Or,
Good,
do these mess it
good
up?
question. I also got this question quite often.
Okay.
What we do is run the photo data on the original photo. We don't run it on
Mm,
a cut on the colorized version or the enhanced version.
okay.
We want to use the original. Although, by the way, we tried it several times also on photos that were colorized using AI. In many cases, it didn't change the estimate significantly,
Okay.
but in some cases it did. So we we are running it on the original.
Okay. Yeah, good to know. Oh, what other? Excuse. Okay, I had to cough there. Okay, now we have other questions about the photo tagger. Now, first question, Tal. Some of the audience are saying that they're not seeing photo tagger in this list. Would there be a reason why it wouldn't show up?
Again, what didn't show up?
Just photo tagger here in this menu.
For some people, you're saying?
Yeah, for some people in the audience,
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
unable to see
Good
it.
question. If you don't have enough photos or enough individuals in your family tree, the photo tagger feature will not be offered to you.
Okay.
We offer it for family sites that have enough photos and enough individuals in the tree. I don't remember right now the numbers. It's not such high numbers. I think it's about 50. You need to have 50 individuals in your tree and maybe 20 photos, something like that.
Mm,
So yeah, it won't work if you don't have enough.
okay. So let's just go into photo tagger since I've got it here. Tal, I've actually never used this before. So while you were speaking, I hit the start button and then it shows me I've got 22 groups of photos to tag. It looks like it's
I know this
identified.
dude.
Oh, you know this guy? Yeah. So it,
Yeah, I
it
know him.
it knows me. Now, interestingly, again, I was doing this on my other monitor, so I may have missed some things that you said because this was so fun. So as I go down, you can see on the right, just like Tal was showing, that it's put a little rectangle around the area that it's identified as being the face. Now, most of these are just of me, but I found one. So like this one right here. So out of this photo of 6 of us, so in this case, it's presenting to me my face, and I'm guessing it's presenting to me my face because, well, it's related or looks alike like the other photos of that I've
Yes.
identified as myself. I imagine, Tal, would it also would it identify these other faces, but they would just be further down the list of photos
Yes,
to tag? Okay,
exactly. You will get them as separate groups to tag, but on the
excellent.
same photo.
All right, so I'm real curious about this. So it says, who is this? I want to find someone that was. So tell how. Okay, here's an interesting question to me. So this group, this is my mother, and so let me click review. And as you, I think you said this, I need to start typing in her name right here. Okay, so I've now selected her name, and this, so the rest of them have check marks. And I know for sure that all of those are my mother. Okay, so now I come up here and I click tag 8 photos. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, let's do
And
that.
as you can see, that was a nice example because you could see photos of your mother when she was very young, like a young girl, and when she was much older,
Yeah,
and managed to identify her in different periods of her life.
yeah. Okay, so how did it do that is what I'm wondering in my head here. This next row is also my mother. So is it going to like merge them or identify all of them with the right person if I type in her name here? So if I go
Yeah,
like
that's
this.
exactly what you can do. The facial recognition technology in this case was not certain that this is the same person, so it didn't list it under the same group. But
Okay.
you can do it as long as you know that it's your mother.
Okay. Now, some people in the audience were asking, would it work on a blurry photo? And I'm looking at this one right here, and it's kind of blurry, and
Yeah,
somehow it did a good job.
yeah,
All right, I'm going to hit tag. So now in the end, if I go in my tree, or even if I'm looking at all my photos, and you showed over here how I can look at people, if I go down to my mom, this is Watch Jeff Live because this is how I'm learning how to
yeah.
utilize this. So I'll click on
Yeah,
my
I should have
mom,
shown it myself.
and so these are, yeah, indeed, these are those ones that I just tagged,
Yeah.
and these are okay, cool. I'm sold. I like this. Hmm.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right. I'm hoping also that as I'm showing this, that it's helping people here in the audience to see how to do it hands on. Well, very good. Let's do. I want to do more stuff of my own, but that's boring to other people. Let's uh, let's do a couple door prizes, and then we'll get to more questions. So uh, I'll have the replay of this on our website within about an hour after we conclude, so you can go back and review what Tal has taught. You can even share the link of the video with other people, and it will appear right up here, familytreewebinars.com. If you add a slash MyHeritage, then you can view any of the other 311 MyHeritage specific classes up there in the webinar library. Most recently, Maya Geyer did a very good job on searching historical records, the latest developments. So that's a really enjoyable one. All right, let's see what's next. And then, if you want even more, there's more than 2,000 classes there in the webinar library that you can peek at. The classes, they're free for the first week, and then they are added to the member library. And if I remember at the very end here, I'll show you a quick 2-minute video on some benefits of having a webinar membership. But the MyHeritage specific webinars are always included free. And this is the next one that we have. So coming up with Marie Kapar. If you've got French ancestors, then you'll want to sign up for that webinar. And we've come to door prize time. So we're going to first give away a 1-year MyHeritage complete plan. So Tal, is everything that you've shown us here today, is that all included in the complete plan? I think you mentioned that even the photo
Yes,
dater was free for everybody. Can you just confirm
Yeah,
that?
both of them are free features. They're available for free for anyone to try. So you don't even need a plan.
Hmm.
But the complete plan will give you much more. Some of these benefits are listed here on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And I think this number, it's now up to 19.6 or zero point 0.7 billion, something like that. Okay, let me go and find who our random winner is here. It looks like if your name happens to be Harold Sauter, then you're our winner for the 1 year complete plan. Now let's go to our next door prize, which happens to be a MyHeritage DNA test kit. Now, Tal, I bought two of these for one for a brother and one for my sister-in-law. So I sent these to them over Christmas. She responded to me and she thanked me, and she said, "I've always wanted to do this," and and so now I'm anxiously awaiting her results. So I'm hoping that she's already done it and turned it in. Okay, so MyHeritage DNA test kit. We're going to go to Dennis Jensen. Now, Dennis, I don't know if I've got a cousin named Dennis Jensen. Not quite sure if this is him or not, but happy to see a familiar name there anyway. So, Dennis, we've got a MyHeritage DNA test kit coming your way. And all right, so we're back to some questions here. Now, we likely won't get through all of the hundreds of questions here today, but I'll try to take some that have been asked frequently to help most of you here. And many of these I've already marked, we've already discussed. We discussed that one. Okay. Yeah, Steven says if someone wrote the date the picture was taken, will AI see that, or is it just looking at the photo to estimate the date? And I think you said no, it's really just looking at the photo. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Several people asked, can you share this? I don't know if you can or not, Tal, but how many photos were part of the teaching the AI? I mean, that sounds like a really fun process.
Yeah, I can say it's a very large set, as I showed. It ranges through many different time periods and photos from many different places in the world. Some are group photos, some are personal photos. I can say tens of thousands of photos were involved in this training. All of them were curated by hand.
Wow.
So to check their validity. So there's a lot of work that was put into this AI model.
Yeah, interesting. Thanks. I was going to say, did you get to be a part of that? But I don't want to divulge any personal information. It just sounds like it would have been really fun.
Yeah.
Gosh, all of the questions that I marked previously, we've already discussed. Here's one, Bill is asking. So MyHeritage recently released the Reimagine app, and I actually used that. So, Todd, did you remember those like 10 pictures of my mother that photo tagger found? I actually used Reimagine to digitize those photos. It was a pretty neat process. But Bill is wondering, can photo data be used in conjunction with the Reimagine app? Are those put together in any way?
So there are plans to include the photo data there. Currently, it's available from the MyHeritage app, and later on, it will be there too.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Let's go to Graham. Graham has a question about the photo tagger. If you're unsure of who the person is in the photo, and so you click on the reject button, will that ever be presented again for your review?
You mean if you rejected a specific photo?
Yeah.
Or a specific? Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll take this photo and we'll try to match it again to any other group that's already presented, and in the future to any other groups that will be generated. Let's say you add more people to your tree, you start tagging more people that were not part of the pool before. So we will try matching it every time with other photos, with other pools of photos, and eventually, if we'll have a match, it will be included in a new group.
Okay. Thanks. And we've got some asking, can photo dater or photo tagger be used with other services outside of MyHeritage? I'm guessing that this is just it's a part of MyHeritage and not a standalone tool. Is that right?
Yeah, it's part of MyHeritage. What you can
Yeah.
do if you manage your tree elsewhere, you can just upload your family tree to MyHeritage. Obviously, including the photos, some services allow you to export a JEDCOM and import it to MyHeritage with your photos. Some do not allow it. But anyway, if you only uploaded your tree and you have a bunch of family photos sitting anywhere on your hard drive or Google Drive, you can just upload them to, start tagging a few individuals, and then you'll get photo tagger suggestions very quickly, and you'll manage to do it relatively quickly, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Here's a question from Mary Ellen about if your tree is public, are your tagged photos also public? Or how do you can you maintain privacy of your photos, or how do you do that?
Eventually, there's privacy for your photos. So if you put the photos in a private album, you can create private albums on MyHeritage.
Okay.
So if you created a private album and added that photo to the album, then the privacy for that photo will be private.
Okay.
If it's under a public album, then the photo can be accessible by other users.
Okay. And you said it goes back to about 1860. Is that what you mentioned earlier?
Correct.
Okay. Thanks for your question, Mary Ellen. And so Eugene, there's others that are asking, and I think you've discussed this, but let's just put a final period on this. Eugene says, I have some undated photos in MyHeritage, but PhotoDater does not give an estimate. Just wondering, is there something else that he needs to do to make it work?
Yeah, so maybe I didn't explain it well enough. There are two main reasons for you not to get an estimate for a photo. One is that people are not appearing in the photo, and I'm assuming that the photos that you used are photos of people. The other reason could be the confidence level of the AI. As we want to prevent showing you junk estimates, we simply don't show an estimate if the AI doesn't have a good enough confidence level. So if the confidence is lower than 70%, we simply do not provide it. And that's the reason why you're not seeing an estimate for these photos.
Yeah, excellent response. I appreciate that. That was Eugene. Jackie says, I have and perhaps this is one that we would conclude with. Jackie says, I have an old photo, which I suspect is my great-great-grandfather or my great-great-grandmother, and she would like it to be dated. It's a beautiful photo, obviously taken in a studio, and she'd love to get a year so I can determine who it might be. So as her next step, she says, do I scan the photo and then upload it? And is there anything else that she should do? She doesn't have any photos in her tree yet, but so she's just wondering, is that the right process now to scan the photo?
That will be exactly the right process to scan the photo, preferably in good quality with a good digital camera that will be good enough, and then just click the upload button on the My Photos section, or via your family tree. You can upload it to a specific individual. And then when you get to the photo page, just wait a few seconds until the AI will try to make an estimate, and it will be displayed if successful.
Okay. Thank you. So with the many other questions and comments that are still here, And I've just put the link to the MyHeritage user group on Facebook in your chat, everyone. So if you have further questions, you want to discuss what you've learned more about in this webinar, you might head over there and join that group. I don't know, there's like 20 some thousand people that are members of that, and so a good place to ask your questions specific to MyHeritage and perhaps even about what we've discussed here today. Tal, before I show this last video about uh, benefits of a webinar membership, will thank you and just ask you: do you have any last thoughts that you want to share before we do say goodbye?
Well, it was a great session for me. I really enjoyed it. It's always fun to be here. I hope I managed to teach some of you at least a few things that you didn't know about MyHeritage and its photo tools. And I look forward for the next time.
Yeah, well, very good. Thanks, Tal. Have a
Thanks,
good
Jeff.
evening where you are. Thanks to all of you also, wherever and whenever you are. Thanks for sharing part of your day with us.